We're just we come from trash. That's the bottom line. Yes, accept it. Hi, kids. Tonight is one of my favorite shows of the year. Chris will do the intro, but it's brought to you tonight by Abuse of Science 2. Rest in peace. This 11% Imperial IPA is going to be the perfect thing I need to work up the energy to just vomit on what we're going to discuss tonight. So grab a cold one. Kev, you want to count us down?
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
Who am I?
Sure enough.
I can't hear you.
Sure enough.
And I escape the feelings that you push through the door again. 'Cause I can't take the talking over favorite songs. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. And you explore the feelings that I'd rather ignore again. 'Cause I can't hate the talking over telephones. And opposites, they always seem to want to attract. We're a match, the risking of a heart attack. But I didn't want to call you back, didn't want to make you come. 'Cause I never want to call you everything under the goddamn sun. Didn't want to call you back, didn't want to make you come. I never want to call you everything under the sun.
Hello and welcome to Films on Tap, broadcasting live on Friday nights from 9 to 10:30 right here on govsradio.com. Or search for Govs Radio using the Boxcast app on your phone, tablet, or TV streaming device. Music for our shows is from our featured band Playing Dead. Search for them on Spotify to listen to their entire catalog and check them out on Facebook to see their upcoming shows. Links to Playing Dead and more can always be found on our website, filmsontappodcast.com. Get even more by subscribing to Films on Tap with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for additional content. So grab a drink and settle in for tonight's show with Tim Saliani, Carla Okerson, Kevin Scott, and Jim Trappin. And as always, the host of our show, Chris. Cheers.
I never want to call you everything under the sun. And I still love you, baby.
The kind of giddy I was looking for.
Hello and welcome to the Films on Tap podcast, brought to you by Govs Radio.
What
Tim,
episode is it, Chris?
who the hell knows? Are we like
Sam?
are we starting to count this from like the beginning of the new venture, or
Who
are
the
we going
fuck
to
is
continue
counting?
this?
Listen,
Even if we did, what would you still know which episode?
No, I wouldn't. I never knew when we were doing it previously.
we come on once a week, drink our faces off, and just shit all over everything going on in the entertainment world. That's what we do.
Yeah.
This is episode Who Gives a Fuck?
Right.
At this point.
It's always been episode Who Gives a Fuck.
By the way,
but
Gonna need a bigger beer.
God.
Sorry. Dubco. Destination Unknown Brewing
Yeah, Tim
Company.
forgot to mention
I
the
forgot
actual.
to mention that. Sorry, Chris.
They're good, man. I remember when we went up to Tap, like I guess it's like 4 years now or something ago. They had a great beer there. I feel like it was a sea salt IPA or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I just
No, you
remember
don't.
loving it.
And neither do I.
Oh my god, I was trashed by like 9:30 a.m. That was amazing.
This guy fucking brings like potpourri when he rooms with you. Like I've never seen somebody hang up shirts for like a day and a
I
half.
get settled and like
Get settled. Who the fuck uses the dresser?
I do.
And I just watched that episode of Schitt's Creek where the guy shows up to the motel and he's like, I need a cot because I have to lay out all my clothes. I need to be able to see all of my clothes. Well, just use the other bed. I don't know which bed I want to sleep in yet.
I've never seen that. Like, really, and here I am. I'm showing up with a fucking garbage bag, a hefty sack, with half clean clothes. Anyway,
tonight is a tradition for our show. We always tend to follow up our best of. And so if you followed us the last 2 weeks, we've done best movies of 2020, best TV shows of 2020. Tonight is our worst, our most hated. And if anybody knows Tim personally, they know that this essentially is like Christmas for him because he loves to hate.
Yes, he does.
with dick holes in him.
He's like Buck Nasty. Jim is beautiful.
Oh, don't worry. My list is going to be short and sweet.
But before we go changing the water in anybody's mama's dish,
Bull root.
oh my God, please God, don't let him die of COVID. Come on. Yeah. We gotta hope that he doesn't take our only great stand-up comedian left, or at least the
one of the best.
One of the best.
Thanks a lot, Grimes.
Yeah. The fuck.
Oh. All right, let's get to some hating.
Yeah, let's get hating. I'm gonna start shaking my head like Buck Nasty.
The worst of 2020.
Worst of 2020. Mine was all movies, but we said we would do movies or shows or whatever that we just found despicable this year, which is always fun to just shit on stuff. So
there was plenty of movies, so
there was honestly, yeah. I probably saw more movies this year than I do in a normal year because it didn't require me going to the theater to see some of these. Because I will not watch like a cam or a shitty copy. Like if I know that it's a screener and it's up, sure. Yes, I will watch at home something that maybe is supposed to be in the movie theater. But for the most part, if it's a newer movie, if it's a big kind of event movie, I'll get out and go to the theater. There's not that many of them. But this year, a lot of stuff either was, on one of the streaming services that we pay for already, or at least it was available on demand and high quality. And so I saw a ton of stuff. I watched a lot of horror. There was a bunch of great stuff that dropped on Shudder. But yeah, as fun as it was, and as many movies as I had to put on my best of list, there was also a bunch of shit that came out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's all sorts of shit that had like Bruce Willis in it that I didn't even get to see.
Like 5 movies.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, there was like 5 direct to home movies that he made.
One of them made my list.
Really? All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty
was
sure.
Was it the one of him not wearing the mask in Walgreens?
You have 14 days to live.
An honorable mention at least. But
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent.
Cool.
Wear the fucking Walgreens mask. God damn it.
So who wants to start?
Jim, you want to go?
I'll tell you what, because Carla's not here, we'll go ahead and toss in some of her. If you want to actually just get her list out of the way, we can do this. She basically sent me choices and quick reasons.
Here's the thing. I do want to hear her, but I also want it to be like one of, and I don't want to run down all of them. Like I want to be.
We'll pepper them in.
Round.
We'll absolutely pepper them in. I'll tell you what. Actually, one of them that isn't a crossover, just so that we can talk about it. And she did say this when we discussed our best of the year. She fucking despises Tenet.
I know.
She despises it.
She's an idiot.
And now, just to come back to what we were saying actually last time. Chris, you had mentioned like that I did not treat it the way like you thought that I wasn't when I think that it was going to be a number one.
I was surprised that it showed up on your best of.
The reason that I was agreeing with a lot of the things that we disliked was about Christopher Nolan himself. For the fact of it's like he does have his faults, but when you're looking for just a masterclass of a film of all of the strong points that he can make happen, this movie showcases it. Carla's reasoning behind why she hates it is because she felt like it was homework just to try and understand it, and that you need to watch it and study it to get the most
Chris
out of it.
said it.
That's
no. Listen, I'm just messing around. For me, I don't know. If you want to say that you dislike the movie in some emotional way, like that it's a movie you hated or that you disliked, I get it. And I'm sure that's why it's on the list. You can't tell me that you can objectively argue that it is one of the worst movies of the year.
No, 100%.
Like from a quality standpoint, from a filmmaking standpoint, there's no fucking way.
It is the highest quality.
Wait, gentlemen. From a filmmaking standpoint, you can argue that it's not a good movie simply because you can't fucking hear half of it. That's an issue for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
The idea that it's a masterclass in filmmaking, what? You couldn't hear half the fucking movie.
No, absolutely.
Now the idea that is it one of the worst movies of the year? I wouldn't say that whatsoever. It's a Christopher Nolan movie which is going to get support from people just because of who he is, because we do that shit now. We have the ridiculous fandom thing going on. On its own merit, it's slightly better than mediocre. It's not shit. You can't say it's great. If you want to argue it's good, sure. But to call it either best or worst, that's some crazy shit right there.
Yep.
I thought it was the best made film of the year.
I still, it was my number one.
Right. You can.
It was my favorite.
You can definitely say favorite.
It's the best. Yeah.
Favorite's one thing. Best. Those are two different things. Yeah.
Agreed. Just like with this worst list.
Fair.
That's why I'm saying, like, if she hated it, of course, then it's on your worst of list. But yeah, and that's what generally our lists are anyway. They're not like, hey, we're arguing what's the best or worst movie of the year. It's the shit we either love the most or despise the most. So
I think this year might be a little different though for the worst. I think these worst are going to be
pretty
fucking
shitty movies.
Yeah.
But she made it clear that she hates Tenet. Oh, by the way, shout out to the Real Drunk Housewives of Australia.
Oh, nice. Julie's listening.
Hey.
Of course, I'm just completely lost. I'm like, okay.
Say it.
Shout out, drunk Australian ladies.
Down under.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hey now.
Okay, so Jim, do you want to start off with yours?
Yeah, sure. Why not? How about movie theaters in general? They've sucked every year. And I don't think after all the shit that we've been through, it's going to get any better. They're going to get hit with enough restrictions to get themselves open that it's going to force themselves to clean.
Right.
And I know, Kevin, you being in the industry for the amount of years that you have, it won't take any amount of money or encouragement or federal regulation to get that place to any level of fucking sanitary.
It took
no matter
Stony
where
Brook
you go.
about 6 days to fuck up that beautiful AMC screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally 6 days in, soda stains all over the place, sticky floor, smelling like piss. Seats were great, screen great, fucking like just trashed within a week.
And now the only reason that I bring that up is for the fact that my first fucking pick of tonight is the only reason that this movie was the third highest grossing film of the year. Motherfucking Birds of Prey. And
was this Carla's number one?
This was Carla's number one.
Was, right?
So we're gonna bash. You want Tenet? We're taking fucking Birds of Prey.
All right, that's fair.
Right.
But now, when they thought that changing the title of this movie was gonna make it any better, when it used to be Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, that was a title that was thought up and put out there into the fucking ether as what this movie was going to be. And then now it's simply Harley Quinn : Birds of Prey. Or Birds of Prey. However the fuck you even want to say it. Such a shit show.
I don't care about her as Harley Quinn.
But it's
I really
colorful.
don't. I'd rather watch her punch Jeff Galooly in the face.
We could get that.
I just would.
I loved I, Tonya. That was great.
That was
awesome.
a great movie.
So much fun.
But no. Was so happy to see something like this, but I think we'll talk about it later, I'm sure. We are so used to DC striking out. In whether it be in complete fashion or in just some way missing the ball by just a bit. They've never fucking hit for me in a really long time. The past decade, they simply fall short or worse.
I mean,
Yeah, it's really all about planning too. You know, like they were just in desperate catch-up mode after the success of the early Marvel Cinematic Universe that has just continued on and on and on, and continues in various formats. You know, I texted you guys earlier. WandaVision is fucking amazing, and the third episode was phenomenal. You guys should watch that if you're into cinematic Marvel at all. Watch WandaVision.
It is a nice change of pace.
DC just didn't plan from the beginning. When your sort of your founding father is Zack Snyder, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And I happen to like Man of Steel. I feel like you could have taken that and built on it, but then they went right into Batman versus Superman, and in the last 30 seconds threw in fucking video clips of the Flash, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. And you're like, wow, they really are rushing the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
And it's you know, the first Wonder Woman was like, by comparison, we were all like, oh, that's awesome. Like finally DC made a good movie. And
hey, something to build on.
Yeah.
All right, well, we can skip over me because I'm sure that my number 5 is going to come up later. So
you're just not going to say it?
No, wait.
No, this is your opportunity to bring them up and take somebody else's shit.
Right, exactly.
It's being handed to you.
We'll talk about why Wonder Woman was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we're already on the subject of DC.
Which is my number 5. We'll talk about it later because it's already higher on probably some list. Jim, you would know. Higher on anybody else's list? Yeah. So we'll wait it out.
And with various reasons.
I didn't even bother. I was like, fuck this movie. I can't even make my words. Fuck this movie. I hated it, though. I really did hate it. Trash.
Really terrible.
Trash.
Trash.
Okay. I think for Jesus Christ, my number 5, I'm gonna go with something that debuted April 6th and died a long overdue painful death December 1st. It's the Quibi platform. This was so and you know, let's even pretend for a second that the releasing right after the pandemic starts and everything was their downfall. It wasn't. It might have been a part, but it wasn't. Let's pretend.
Wouldn't it have been possibly like a positive in the sense that people were stuck home?
No, absolutely not. Because like the whole concept of this was that it was supposed to be on the go. You're going to work. Okay. You're waiting for a train, whatever.
It's like small short clips of
5 to 10 minutes, and it would have been good if YouTube didn't exist. It's the same fucking platform, but they charge now. I think it was $5 for.
Yeah, no, I'm disappointed that I won't be able to find out whether Anna Kendrick actually fulfilled the plot of Mannequin or not in 15-minute increments, because what a fucking dumb idea Quibi is.
No, but going from with that, they had a lot of top-level talent. They had shit. They had what they claimed was a shit ton of money. It was like 1.75 billion, which it's a lot. If Netflix didn't drop 17 billion themselves last year, whatever.
On Chappelle alone.
On Chappelle, right. You had a bunch of shows like Most Dangerous Game I actually liked. It might have had a shit ending, but whatever. Same thing as A Stranger. They had Reno 911 came back, Singled Out, some other shit.
Did it really? Reno 911 was on?
Yeah, there was some good shit to watch, but it was like, do you want to pay for it? Yeah. And clearly nobody did. I believe it was like about 900,000 first day sign-ups. And about 72,000 ended up actually paying for it after the trial was over.
Wow.
That's like 8 fucking percent? It was a complete fucking failure. And like I said, yes, the pandemic didn't help. But everybody else, as you said, all streaming services profited off the pandemic. Basically, it's the kind of strange way of putting that. We watched a shit ton of stuff, but nobody was going anywhere. So it was bad timing. It was Jeffrey Katzenberg and I can't remember, Meg Whitlock, I think it is. I could be mistaken. There were 60-something-year-old CEOs, lots of money behind them, but they weren't in touch with younger audiences, which is what they were going for.
Right.
They were just like those grandparents that go, you can't get these kids to pay attention to anything.
Right. They're always on their phone, so we're going to put stuff on their phone for them. But it's like, that's not how it goes. No one, and most kids today, or the younger audiences, they don't care about celebrities.
And they don't care about, they're not going to really watch anything aside from baking shows for more than a fucking 15 minutes.
But they want even that, you have fucking TikTok.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. They want their fucking fix in 59-second increments, or
barely.
You know, I mean, it's just there's no attention span.
Yeah. If it's a good show, though, like they'll watch it. If it's a good show, like I watch Katie, she's on TikTok constantly, but she also will binge an entire series on Netflix if it's good. You know, like it has to hold their attention and it has to be good or in some way entertaining. But there is a lot of shit that they put out there for kids, a couple of which are on my list, that they don't treat them like the intelligent, you know, young people, mini people that they are. And, you know, make no mistake, just because we shit on them for having shit attention spans, with the advent of technology and the access that these kids have to information so young, they're fucking smarter than we ever were at that age.
Oh, absolutely.
And but they still make these movies and shows that fucking pander to kids like they're babies or idiots, and that's not going to be successful. You're not going to get kids watching those shows when they're
catch on real quick.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Coke Emotion isn't all fucking amazing, or Coke whatever the fuck
Coco
it is?
Melon, I think
Coco
it is.
Melon. I don't know.
Yeah. I saw that graphic in like the top 10. I was like, no.
Every time.
Connor looked at it and went, ugh, Coco Melon. I was like, yeah, buddy. I'm with you.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's watch Attack on Titan.
Seriously. No, Coco Melon.
See people ripping apart.
Let's go watch Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. That's good.
You liked Otis.
Of course. Who didn't?
Tara was all concerned. She's like, you know, he watches that Attack on Titan and he wants to be a Titan. aren't they like the monsters? I'm like, well.
He wants to be a massive naked human kaiju that destroys little people.
Like, takes like the action figures and like and she's like like, don't worry about it, he's fine.
Wow. He does a great Georgie impression.
So Quibi.
Quibi.
My number 5.
Okay.
Quibi.
Chris.
Number 5. My number 5. There's a couple on the list that were just because they're like a lot of just sheer disappointment.
8 choices he sent me. He sent me 8 of them, guys.
Did I really?
No, I'm kidding.
I know I sent more than I know I sent more than 5, like just to like in case I decided on something. But I did stick to 5 this time. This one I was so hyped for. We about 3 years ago maybe loved Train to Busan. I mean, when you talk about how like just a great zombie movie, you care about the characters, you know, it has the fast zombies, but it made them really scary. It was just an awesome, hugely entertaining, exciting movie.
It was tense.
It was tense as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, when your palms sweat watching that movie because you know that the main characters are going to last at least most of the way through the movie, but there are so many like near misses where they just barely escape like a chomping mouth, you know, to get to the next scene. And it's like, holy shit.
Such a good fucking film.
Doesn't stop. And
it's gut-wrenching too.
It really is because it's emotional. You know, you get invested in the characters. Yeah. So then when I heard that they were coming out with a sequel called Peninsula.
Yeah.
Ready.
I was super excited. I was a little bit like, you know, I've seen the oh my god,
post-apocalyptic.
Poca-papa. What?
That was not your internet.
That was my 9%. My 9% beer I'm drinking. But you know, I've seen that thing done to death, but I was like, no, the guy made a great first movie. This should be good. It's not good.
Oh, dude.
It's not. It's boring.
Yeah.
It lost everything that the first one had.
Bunch of action that means nothing.
It was Korean World War Z.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which is what you expected Train to Busan to be. And it wasn't. It was so much more than that. And then they made this, and you got exactly what you were fearing was going to get.
Yeah, it's just a mess. It's like a classic sequel where they just try to amp everything up and they forget about, character or story and seeing and quite honestly too, like the budget, I don't know if it was worse or they just spent it on the wrong things, but the zombies looked worse, like the CGI was not good.
So this was like if Hobbs and Shaw fucked the worst elements of Day of the Dead.
Oh.
Yeah. True. True.
Not
Although
wrong.
I didn't get the Rock in a grass skirt 1 second and then in pants and shoes literally in the next frame like I did in Hobbs and Shaw, because that was actually really entertaining.
But they worked together. They worked together in the end.
He's a
to bring
proud
down that
motherfucker.
hair.
I don't get it.
I mean, literally, he held on to a helicopter and prevented it from flying away.
So did Captain America.
Listen, super
You know
soldier.
what I'm saying?
That's
The
plausible.
Rock.
Kevin.
nigga. Shit.
Yeah, but did Captain America put together an entire tow hitch system of 6 different cars just in case they decided to want to take down a helicopter?
True. I'm still waiting for F9 because holy shit,
You're gonna be
that,
waiting for a while, buddy.
I want a
that
Tokyo
review was
drift
incredible.
off a ravine right now.
You're gonna wait for a long ass time.
Anyway, if anyone was a fan of Train to Busan and maybe forgot that there was a sequel called Peninsula and hasn't, just stay away from it because it sucks. It's a bad movie. It angered me because I really I couldn't wait till I could finally get my hands on a copy so that I could watch it. And it was just, I sat there and it felt like it was 2 hours and 45 minutes long. I'm just sitting on my couch going, fuck, man.
I remember you warning me, just going, no,
This is
Peninsula
bad.
is not. It's not
So-
Train to Busan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Expecting Super Troopers and got Super Troopers too.
it is that you've seen 15 times now.
Oh, more than that. Now.
It's just a terrible sequel. So yeah, Peninsula, the Train to Busan sequel, is my number 5 worst movie.
Such a shame.
What do we got, Jim?
What do we got? We could toss in, I guess, another one of Carla's favorites this year. Shit. Who wants to talk about Doolittle?
Did anyone
Oh,
really
yeah.
see that motherfucker?
I mean,
I did.
Doolittle's a legit shit movie.
It's my number 2.
Damn.
You want to hold off on it?
It's no, we could talk about it now. It's fucking awful.
It's pretty
It
bad.
is.
Yeah.
I mean-
The only quote that Carla has for this is Doolittle, because even Antonio Banderas couldn't fix it. That's
Is
it.
he even in that movie? I
Yeah,
don't fucking
he was
remember.
like some type of a villain.
Yeah.
I guess. It's the only
Fuck,
look that
I
it
don't
has.
even remember.
He was all dressed in gold and shit.
First of all,
It was-
who thought it was a good idea to reinvent this character?
Robert Downey Jr.
Rob Downey Jr.
Yeah, I guess.
It was a passion project for him.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's in the motherfucker. Shit.
Passion of the Christ. Jesus Christ.
It's awful. I mean, just it's the most basic story, jokes. The overacting is insane. We watched it because we were like, oh, new movie, new kids movie. Hey, Connor. 3 minutes in, he's like, fuck. Kid's checking his watch. I'm like, no, stick with it. And then I'm like, sorry, kid.
There
This
hasn't been
sucks.
one decapitation yet, Daddy.
Right. Dude, I wish I got decapitated. I sat through this thing.
It's god awful. It
It's
really
an
is.
abomination. It was on most worst of lists of the year, and it's deserving of that distinction because it's just a bad movie. There's nothing.
But it's got CG and
Like,
talking animals. Come on, it
Well,
works for
And
Disney.
that's the thing. It's the perfect blend of ridiculously shitty script, poorly acted, with fucking a sprinkling of terrible CG. Not even just a sprinkling; it was like a mound.
Yeah.
and it's like a lot of other movie. Like, we'll talk about Wonder Woman again later. You know, it's just they think that if they can Michael fucking Bay it, you know, and make it just a little cheeky, that people are gonna love it. Kids are gonna like it. You're gonna. It's the fucking thing was absolutely terrible.
Come on, really Jon Favreau's got it made. He does this shit all the time. We can do it too.
Dude, it's like the XFL to Night at the Museum 2's NFL. Like what
the fuck is wrong with you?
They look at this movie and they're like, "Oh, that's funny."
Dum chew gum gum. Yeah, I get it.
It's like, oh, look at that joke. It's like the ECW to the WWE or whatever.
Whoa.
Whatever.
Terrible.
ECW.
I don't watch wrestling.
Exactly. So be quiet. Hush up now.
Yeah, just like ECW, there's fans that have watched this fail too.
Franchise that the Night at the Museum could look down on. That's what this is. It's bad. It's really bad, and Robert Downey Jr. should be ashamed of himself.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
No, he got paid.
Again,
he did get paid.
So
he did get paid. So.
Yeah.
But
all right,
Doolittle's awful.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, Jim, do you want to? You said you only have 3, right?
Yeah. Again, I steered away from a lot of shit this year, but I mean, Wonder Woman would have been the next thing I'd be talking about.
Okay, so we'll wait on that because I'm sure it made other lists. Okay, so Kelsey Grammer.
4, right?
Oh,
yeah, number 4.
God.
Oh,
dude.
Wow.
When I saw, we just started talking about wrestling. When you sent this to me and I saw the trailer for this fucking movie.
Wait, what is this?
Holy shit. I didn't know this existed.
I thought he was dead.
No, good lord.
Grammer.
He's working on it.
No, he fell off a stage once though, and it was funny.
Yes,
they're bringing Fraser back.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't what the world needs, guys.
Isn't what's his name dead?
Hopefully.
Dad,
Yeah.
The dad is dead.
That's terrible.
The dog?
Probably. I mean,
those little rats last forever.
That is true.
Man, true. Yeah.
So Kelsey Grammer plays like a crime lord.
Wait, what? What movie is this?
No. This is going to turn into a fucking Terminator Carl
All right,
bullshit.
So here's all
Tim,
I'm going to say,
go
Chris.
for
I
it.
want you to watch this thing. This doesn't know whether it wants to be The Room or a legit fucking caper of a movie. And it fails on multiple levels because Kelsey Grammer's fucking god-awful. Who else is in it? Is that Edge or Christian? I don't fucking want that.
It's Edge.
Is it Edge?
Edge.
Is this like a wrestling production?
It's got to be, right?
I
don't remember.
No.
It's got to be though. I would think nobody's hiring Edge. Stop it.
Sci-Fi
Yes,
Network.
they are.
Well, Sci-Fi Network. I mean, come on.
I stand by Santa Jaws.
There he is.
What you do. So Kelsey Grammer wants to basically Lufthansa heist this
Wait,
plane.
Is this Money Plane?
Money plane.
Money plane. Yeah. And
looking at the
oh boy, the
IMDb
action
now.
is god awful too. Oof. The fucking look at this.
They want to. It is a heist for a plane in midair that's a casino that bets on anything.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Fuck, Adam Copeland is now. I now the only thing that I got out of this movie is figuring out that Adam Copeland is the real name of Edge.
I forgot Denise Richards, by the way.
Yeah. And Thomas Jane.
Oh yeah. So I literally wanted to erase my fucking memory after watching this goddamn thing.
Wow.
Because it annoyed me so much that I couldn't tell whether it wanted to take itself seriously, or whether it was trying to be.
Joey Lawrence is in it. The Lawrence brothers are in it. Joey and Matt. Wow.
Yeah.
To embrace its shittiness. There was something kind of wonderful, and because there was something kind of wonderful, it made me very angry at how bad this thing was. It was really, really bad.
Like when we went to see Hurricane Heist, we had a fucking blast.
That was
listen,
yeah.
and that ended up being on my like best of the year.
It was best of the year. Yes.
I've never when we went to go see the first Purge, and it was so bad, and we erupted in the back row after the fist bump. John McClane walking into the building scene. That's what I was kind of thinking this was gonna be, and nope.
And I love it. We're going to rob this casino plane that has millions of dollars of Bitcoin and electronic currency. Oh, yeah, and there's cash on board, too.
It would have been great if it was a sequel to Money Train and they brought Wesley back.
Passenger 57.
I would have accepted that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Money
Always been on
Plane.
black.
Honestly, if you hate yourself, by all means.
Money. Wow. I wasn't even
Money
aware that
Plane.
existed.
Neither did I. And there it was.
Amazing.
Watch a lot of shit. I was cooped up in a room for 2 months. I don't know if you know that. So.
I don't even know how you'll come across Money Plane. Oh, that's amazing. I don't think I definitely don't have anything that obscure on my list.
I didn't even know there was a thing. I was trying to find an anime movie, and all of a sudden, in a weird turn of fashion, it played something.
Hentai, come on.
Well, whatever.
He was looking up edging and came across that.
It took him forever.
Kev.
All right, there were 2 Black Fatal Attraction movies last year.
Oh, right.
I didn't see the Michael Ealy one. No.
I feel like every Michael Ealy movie is a Black Fatal Attraction.
That is true too. He's always killing somebody. This was Omar Epps and Neil Long, Fatal Affair. Netflix release. I can't do the movie justice. It's fucking awesome. I'm gonna read this small little part.
But she was 90s hot.
I'm not going there. She's acceptable.
Look at Omar Epps' head.
Wait.
Look at his head.
Let me read this. Omar Epps.
Okay, sorry.
I can't. That's...
Ellie later receives a video message from David containing surveillance footage of them dancing at the club that he hacked. She also doesn't know that he also hacked her home security as well. She sends Courtney an email with information about Deborah's murder and how David likely committed it, but David deletes it. He then has sex with Courtney. That was better than the fucking movie. This is some wild ass. We're trying way too hard, but doing the most obvious shit.
Is Nia Long like the Fatal Attraction lady?
No. She's the she's our heroine because she does cheat on her husband, kind of. But Omar Epps is the Michael Ealy of this movie. Yeah.
He's no Michael Ealy.
No,
Let me say,
nope.
Mike Tomlin has held up better than Omar Epps.
he looks a little rough, but that's probably still one of the better parts of the movie. This was absolute shit.
Wow.
I ended up watching something. I'm sure this was a Twitter thing where people going crazy, and I was like, let me check it out. And I was like, wow, this is fucking garbage.
What'd you say? It was called Fatal Affair.
Fatal Affair. Yeah.
Didn't Carla love that?
Fatal Affair.
Wasn't there like an 80s or 90s spoof of those movies? It wasn't Kathy Ireland.
It was Fatal Instinct.
Fatal Instinct.
Fatal
That's
Instinct.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't think of the guy's name, but yeah.
Yeah.
And,
it sounds like that.
But
who was in it? It wasn't no. Emilio Estevez was Loaded Weapon.
Loaded Weapon 1.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe that's
guy, kind of Italian. Can't remember his name. Fuck.
Oh, Armando Sante. Was that it?
Yes, that is correct. That is it. Correct.
Why the fuck would we know that?
Does he play
Films on tap, Chris. But yeah,
he was a superior Gotti. I will say
he
that.
Was.
Oh shit. I kind of want to watch it again just to. I hate myself.
What, you want to watch a mob movie where nobody's Italian? and it be about Italians?
That was Capone.
Wow. Yeah, Capone was another one that's an honorable mention that was fucking terrible.
I heard that was horrible. I wanted to see it, but yeah.
Boy, did that guy's career crash and burn. That Josh Trank character, man. He made a really cool movie in Chronicle, got way full of himself.
Yeah.
Fucked up the Fantastic Four, blamed it on the studio, and then put out Capone, which supposedly sucks.
It's terrible. The only one person that's doing worse in Hollywood right now is Armie Hammer.
Even that's debatable.
He's gonna be a starving artist soon.
If you're the common denominator of all your problems.
Well, he doesn't have to starve. Plenty of meals around him. Oof.
Sick.
So,
Chris.
I like how they went to the cannibal cop for a comment on Army Hammer.
No.
He was like, I'm sick of being a punchline.
The Donner Party wasn't available, apparently. So.
Yeah, he was like, he's just got to move past it. Fucking guy.
Oh, we got a big fan in the chat coming through to say hi. Carla Owackerson.
What up, Carla?
Hope Jersey is well.
You know it's not.
Try making a left turn.
We dare you.
Who are we up to?
You, I think, number 4.
Okay, so my number 4, I had stupidly high hopes for just because of the very punny title. Plus, I'm a huge fan of Cop and a Half.
Just based on this trailer, though, I really wanted this movie to look good. Like, it looked like it was going to be really funny.
I was excited to watch Coffee and Kareem.
Of course you were. God damn it.
Ed Helms is Officer Coffee, and the little kid is Kareem.
Yeah. I should have known when Taraji P. Henson was in it that it probably wasn't going to be good because it's been a while. Yeah, it's terrible. It's just not good. It is kind of funny hearing Kareem like call him every like white, like honky cracker motherfucker. Like he just goes to town on Ed Helms, and it is kind of funny because Ed Helms is a honky.
Right, but was the script written in '89?
Well, that's the thing is,
a little old.
It's so like sort of sophomoric and stereotypical that it like kind of takes you out of it. And you're like, fuck, like I didn't expect this to be like it tries to rely on being vulgar,
Right.
and racial and all that,
Right.
like but not actually funny.
And the kid in it wasn't that good.
No.
This
you
wasn't
need
the same kid from the Halloween movie, right?
No, I was gonna say that's the kid that
No.
should have been in it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, in order for this movie to work, the kid has to be likable. And he's not. And the jokes are just lame. They're not funny. It's just a shit movie. And I was very disappointed because I wanted to celebrate Coffee and Kareem. I really did. I was like, that's a great title. Like they had me. If I was a studio exec, I was like, no need for the elevator pitch. You have me with the title. Here's $5 million. Go make this movie. And they probably would have came back with what they came back with, which was just trash. It's not good. And it's unfortunate. I really was like hoping that it would be something I could watch on a Saturday morning, like a Cop and a Half, and thoroughly enjoy it. But sadly, it was not to be.
Damn.
So Coffee and Kareem, my number 4 worst movie of the year.
Jim, are we doing yours or Carla's?
We'll drop another one of Carla's here. I don't know if anybody actually got to see this, but 365 Days?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, is that sex movie on Netflix?
The only thing that I know about this film is that it's on TikTok with the one moment where, like, they're in the shower, she goes to turn away, they're in the middle, and he just grabs her by the back of the head and brings her right back around to him. They're showing that shit on TikTok all day. But apparently she gets fucking taken and no one's coming for her. But he basically tells her that in 365 days you're going to love me. And yeah, fine.
Good
luck.
Over time, rape starts to, go into love, I guess. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah,
like a Stockholm syndrome thing.
That seems to be the point of the
Luke and Laura.
I love that you were a historian and connoisseur of General Hospital.
I mean, it's Luke and Laura.
It makes me so happy.
You have to know.
Yeah, Carla basically said 365
if you can name
days.
more than 3 Quartermains.
Not doing it.
I can't, but I know, at least I do know the name.
Yeah, she says this movie basically because hot does not excuse rape and kidnapping.
There you go.
There you go.
Great points, Carla.
But yeah, terrible movie.
And that was like in the top 10 for like several weeks in a row.
Can't imagine why.
Well, it's for the same essential reason where women were bringing fucking towels to go see
the Shades movies.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
You think they could do that in the era of COVID?
Oh.
I mean,
I still think it's...
At least it's sanitary.
That was a great story, you telling that story. It's not as funny as Renee getting left at the movie theater. But
that was the best. He had the fucking manager call the police. Like, son, she left you. What are you doing?
No, it's not possible. I took her to see 50 Shades.
He took her to see Fences.
Oh, Fences, that's right.
He's like, let's go see Fences. That's
nothing
a date
says
movie.
I'm getting laid like Fences.
Nothing puts you in the mood like alcoholic cheating Denzel beating on his wife and son.
We're going to remember this. We're going to tell our kids about it.
Yeah, people are probably like, what the fuck are they talking about?
She's okay.
Just to catch you up really quickly, one time Chris's brother took a girl to the movies and she left within 5 minutes of the movie starting, and he thought she was going to the bathroom, and when she never came back, he went to the manager. And
the best part is she needed to be away from him so badly, he drove her there. Her car was in Patchogue. She like Ubered it from the movie back to her car just so she didn't have to sit through Fences with him. But really, who like Fences? Come on.
Who does that?
De Niro picked a better movie in Taxi Driver to bring Sybil Shepherd to.
Exactly. It's gonna at least get you in the mood. I mean,
oh my God, where are we anyway?
I have no idea. I have no fucking idea.
I gave my
we
number
just did
4.
Carla's.
Then Carla said
That was
365 days. So who's number
Carla's
4 are
3.
we at?
Skip my number 3. It's all right.
All right. My number 3 was another CGI bomb, and basically it takes all the tropes from any underwater science movie.
Also, my number 3.
Oh, all right.
Very nice.
Do you want to then
No,
take
please.
the helm?
Go for it.
With a gripping title called Underwater.
Yeah. So, Underwater is basically one of these. There's a deep water lab, and of course, something goes wrong, and then most of the lab is now crushed under the weight of pressure in the water, and there's a monster. There's a sea monster down there, and man, everybody in this movie sucked, from T.J. Miller to and listen, T.J. Miller can be funny. This did not work in any way.
When your movie has Vincent Cassel in it and it's not a French movie, it's in trouble.
Yeah.
Because he's been in some really great French movies. When he's in American movies, they're usually pretty bad.
And here's the thing. Kristen Stewart redeemed herself in some movies that I'd seen, and I was like, wow, you know what? She can act. Okay, she can act.
As slow as it can be at times, Personal Shopper is like a very
good movie.
very well acted movie.
Yeah.
And she was actually kind of like, she's morose as fuck, like in her life, in movies. So to see her like a little bit more relaxed in that holiday movie on Hulu or whatever it was with Dan Levy and that Mackenzie Davis girl, I forget the name
Season?
of it. Yeah, whatever it was. Like even just to see her smile occasionally was okay. But yeah, Tim, this movie is terrible.
Yeah,
what's surprising is it got like very good reviews.
Yeah.
It came out early in the year, though, right?
It did.
Yeah,
there's a January release.
Yeah.
It's 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 the old fucking what's at the deep of the ocean? Like the lab is like goes all the way down the Mariana Trench. Like that hasn't been done a million times. And then of course there's an earthquake that cuts off and they have to escape the lab because the whole thing's gonna blow. And lo and behold, at the bottom of the Mariana Trench is this giant fucking sea monster and other monsters. It's just fucking abhorrent.
And it's actually Ed Harris. Come back. It's the Abyss too.
Yeah, I mean
Reference.
Disgusting.
I just remember like reading the good reviews on this thing and then watching
I was excited.
it. Yeah. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. This is terrible. All around bad.
Yeah, critics who generally don't watch horror movies, and typically they'll give like something that maybe has a few moments, like they'll give it a good review because they're like, oh wow, like I don't know what they're expecting, but they always sort of they shit on some movies like in the horror genre, and then they find the weirdest ones to give positive reviews to. I should have known. I watched this and I put it on and I'm like, all right, we'll see where this goes. And then like the big reveal at the end with like it kind of being like Cthulhu or whatever, like, okay, great. Movie's over. Like, you know,
just bad. It honestly,
it's not good.
No, it was fucking Santa Jaws with a budget.
Wow.
I love Santa Jaws.
I know you do.
But like, dude, you go back and watch like Leviathan or Deep Star 6 from like the 80s. Those were way fucking better than this movie by a mile.
Yep.
This is it was just not good.
No. So fuck Underwater. Do not waste your time.
My number 3 worst movie of the year also. Just terrible.
Kev.
This is the 3. Edward, Lila, Monica, Alan, AJ, Emily, Jason. But Jason also was Jason Morgan, not just Jason Quartermain. My number 3 That's a great fucking show. Fuck everybody. My number 3 is a Netflix show, Ratchet. I don't know if anybody watches this.
This was the Ryan Murphy.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's the story of Nurse Ratchet becoming her. It's an origin story or whatever. Sarah Paulson, what was that show she's on? Sunset Strip?
Something like that.
The serious version of 30 Rock back in the day. I loved her in that. I think she's a great actress. She's playing the same role now in everything. This feels like American Horror Story.
Yeah.
But the worst parts of it. Then it's a Netflix show now. You throw in the lesbian subplot and it was a go. But it's nothing about the show was entertaining. I watched it. It was one of those things like I wanted to see it was going to get somewhere. It never did. And it's just felt like a fucking chore getting through it.
Basically, she's like Hannibal Lecter, right?
Yeah. In a strange way, yeah.
Yeah.
There's really nothing compelling. The acting isn't bad, but I mean, you have names like Cynthia Nixon, Sharon Stone, forgot the other fucking person, Judy Davis. There's some good quality talent in this, but it just doesn't go anywhere.
Well, it's all stylistic bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
It is definitely style over substance completely.
Yeah.
Oh, and remember when it's dark in the hallway and everything looks green?
And that's what.
But then all of a sudden, it's colors pop out of nowhere. Then you have the weird camera angle. Then, like I said, I'm so glad that we're getting to the place where we're using diversity in storytelling. But if the diversity you're using is simply to say these people are going to have gay sex and possibly kill somebody, that's really not the way you should use it.
Sure.
I don't know. It seems forced and it seems awkward.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, it's like watching Dress to Kill, and he's like a tranny murderer. Like that. I apologize. I probably shouldn't have said tranny, but whatever.
Damn it, Chris.
Yeah. I was trying to make a point about how that was probably damaging, and what I said was probably more damaging than.
Honestly, you might as well have said, you know what? You should accept a queer. Fuck is wrong with you?
Get this bitch a plate.
I got 2 words for you. No problem.
We love our transgendered friends.
Yes, we do. Of course we do.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, man. fucking fuck Ratchet.
Ratchet.
I'm so tired of
Ratchet.
these fucking horrible shows.
Dude, American Horror Story too. That lost me years ago. I made it through 2 episodes of 1984, which
than me.
you know it's bad because that I was so amped to like have a a funny maybe homage to 80s slashers. It's one of my favorite genres, as it is for you guys as well. And to take that and just make it unwatchable.
Nah, for people that enjoy it,
It's
it was
quite the feat.
insulting. It was insulting and then endearing.
The night or the Apocalypse one, there was so many bad seasons. Cult was actually quite prescient when you think about what ended up happening in that show and what ended up happening in real life. But like honestly, I still go back to the 2nd season in Asylum as like the pinnacle of that show. It's on like season 11 now. It's not been good for years.
No, again, it's style. It's style over substance.
Yeah, like Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk or whatever his name is. They're like kind of coasting right now on name and like a cadre of actors that they, tend to employ. But
hey, give him a Star Wars trilogy. It'll be
the
fine.
actual stories.
That's common. Coming this fall to the WB, 3 p.m.
Galactic Horror Story. A long time ago, in a spooky galaxy, far away.
Starring Lady Gaga.
All right, you know what though? I'm watching that.
Yep.
I'm
Go
watching
for it.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Her and R2D2 getting it on.
Fuck yeah.
Only if R2D2 is Willow.
Beep boop.
That dude is still acting.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a
Aren't they rebooting Willow too?
They are.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
They're rebooting everything. Let's
Get
be
that
honest.
man a paycheck.
His travel show with what's his name, with Carl. What the hell was the name of the travel show?
Carl Winslow?
No. The fucking English guy that was always hanging out with Gervais that I'm blanking out on.
I am
Pilkington.
Sorry.
Carl
Oh,
Pilkington.
Jesus Christ.
Carl Pilkington Bottomtooth III.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Kev?
Yes.
Tooth.
Yes.
Wellington bottom tooth.
Hello, Wes Mantooth.
Carl Pilkington said the greatest line I think I've ever heard a human being say. He said, "Happiness is like a cake. If you eat too much of it, you feel sick." I was like, you know what? I feel that.
Yeah.
I get it. All right, where are we? Chris, you're on 2 or 3?
No, we were 3, but mine was
3,
also
right.
underwater. So
So,
Yes.
Jim, what's Carla's?
We did Carlos from the start of that. That was 365 days.
yeah, and
Kevin, what
Kev's
were you
was
thinking?
Ratchet.
All right, so
Kev's
then
right.
yeah, we're looking at number 2s. Let's do
Okay.
it. All right, so Carla's number 2. She actually kind of apologized for picking this simply because she loves Sal. He's such a great person and he's the sweetest. And she's gonna marry Q and he'll be her second ex-husband because of this. The Impractical Jokers movie. Did anybody catch this movie?
I'm a huge
Carla.
fan. I'm a huge fan of the TV show. I watched the first opening. They should have kept.
Is it
the TV
basically
show.
just like what happens on the show, but in a movie?
Here, yeah, it's
Go with the plot details. 'cause
yeah,
it's
no problem.
ridiculous.
You see Paula Abdul on screen right now. The idea behind it, obviously, they're pulling their pranks, but Paula Abdul invites them to a party in Miami, but Paula only sent 3 tickets. So, hey, we're going to basically do our show completely... Oh, hey, let's totally do this show to get these tickets that Paula Abdul totally gave us. And they basically go through their skits as a film with the premise of that somebody is going to not be able to go to hang out with Paula Abdul.
Yeah, it basically is like what the Jackass guys do, but it feels like the Jerky Boys movie.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
and
You can't shit on the Jerky Boys movie.
I love it. I
Yes,
love
you
it.
can.
Listen, hold on. Jerky Boys movie's not good, but I do love it.
I love
I
it.
do. I do love it. And I
It's so
actually
shit. It's such shit.
I didn't dislike this movie. it was a little disappointing. I mean, yeah, I knew what I was going to get. The show's fucking hysterical, you know, and all those guys are funny as hell.
Yes.
But I didn't expect, you know, a great plot line. It's just like going into any one of the Jackass movies. I'm expecting to see a Jackass episode just notched up a little bit. And I don't think this was notched up as much as I thought it was going to be.
No.
So,
and clearly neither did Carla.
No, Carla shit all over it, and I'm going to make sure that never mind, that they know.
You hear me?
Now on HBO Max. But yeah, it's
And yeah, at this point, my number 2, this is where I would be talking about Wonder Woman for sure.
Okay.
It's
talk about it.
It's the only thing that I could really add to it that we haven't really already done on the show is you expect that after years and years of having all these different properties and trying to figure out just the right way to do it, you had all the time to figure out how you wanted to bring the sequel to Wonder Woman, or bring the standalone movie for her, or at least the sequels to it, to build on probably your more popular character in the DC universe. And you fucking blew it. And even we were talking about Patty Jenkins wanting this to be a female-forward film, and we were sitting here making fun of the fact that they were more concerned about not being able to walk in high heels. You missed the mark, as DC has consistently done, again.
This is one of those movies that is a fantastic trailer and an awful movie. When I saw this trailer the first time, I was like, "Oh shit, this looks like it could be really fucking cool." It had the fucking Blue Monday beat to it. You were like, "Oh shit, man! It's got the '80s vibe."
This looked like it was going to be a straight up Miami-centric '80s vibe, and then you got the mall.
Here's the thing, and I'm just gonna say it. This script was so terrible that it didn't mask the fact that Gal Gadot cannot fucking act at this point. She may get better. Like, she's right now like Schwarzenegger Red Heat in terms of acting, right?
Fair.
Schwarzenegger obviously got a lot better. I mean, not much.
I love him in Raw Deal. Joseph P. Brenner, what's the P stand for? Pussy. I mean, come on. You should not drink and bake.
I just had to go Belushi.
That was amazing. Yeah, no, I get it.
But we beat this movie to death. And
it's a terrible script, so it doesn't mask the fact that she can't act. And then you bring on other characters that didn't need to be brought back, and are just there because they wanted to involve Chris Pine, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Dude, they made Pedro Pascal look terrible. Terrible and act terrible.
Terrible, for sure.
He looked better when the mountain squished his head. Like,
seriously. Like, he looked like he got coked up for the entire shoot for that show. Like, he is just fucking...
He was going full 80s.
Sweaty and out there in that movie.
He just came off the set of Narcos, so it makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, fuck Wonder Woman, 1984. I agree with you, Jim.
Okay. Yeah. For a minute there, it was fuck Wonder Woman. You got it. 84.
Yeah, it's not good.
No bueno
at all.
No bueno
at all. We've shit on that movie a lot, so
and it deserves
deservedly
it.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, fucking number 2, huh?
Number 2. Yeah. What do you got?
All right, so. Really quickly, I don't want to see anything else with Vin Diesel in it ever again.
But come on, this is such a
done
unique
with Vin Diesel.
This is such a unique concept.
I had to go back and rewatch Pitch Black just to remind myself, you know what, Vin Diesel served a purpose.
He exists.
He exists. Bloodshot was the same old tired concept done even more poorly than I thought I could.
I can't believe that's this year. Like, that feels like it was fucking 2 years ago.
Bloodshot was early. It was February, right?
It was early.
Yeah.
It was early.
It was early. And I didn't catch it until I got the COVID.
So did he, apparently. So.
And I suddenly was like, you know what? Take me to the hospital.
Like, is it basically just like Triple X, but he's immortal? Like,
it's basically yes, yeah.
You
It
really?
would have been better if Ice Cube actually was doing it, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's Wolverine with nanites and
It's-
basically Groundhog Day, right?
It's every story where they take a soldier and then inject them and make them into like this superhuman. And then of course, there's a revenge plot. It's the fucking same old goddamn movie every time, except now it has Vin Diesel in bad fight sequences. Not being able to the best thing Vin Diesel's done is I Am Groot lately. So, I couldn't believe that this thing even had a budget. There's no fucking story. It was the same old garbage. He's terrible. Everybody else in this thing just fucking felt like they were working for scale. God awful fucking movie. I was fucking very angry that I actually spent the hour and what seemed like 8 days on the fucking thing. Don't watch Bloodshot. That's my number 2.
I saw that preview. I was like, oh no. I can't do that.
It's fucking bullshit. Just nonsense.
Yeah.
Come up with an original fucking idea and get some goddamn heart behind it. Because this thing, oof. I need another drink
Vin
now.
Diesel.
That's my number 2. Kev?
My number 2 is I'm gonna do the Chris. I'm gonna have 2A and 2B.
Nice.
I got
But-
it.
I'm a big fan of that, by the way.
But you'll understand why in a second. This is my Tyler Perry segment.
I was going to say,
Tyler,
'Cause,
Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace was the first movie I watched this year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
This was awful.
This is also Carla's number 2.
Number 2, perfect.
Really?
As she likes to say, basically this is on there because of all the wigs, among other things.
Her reasoning is solid.
Oh,
So far.
This one makes
Flawless
sense
for
because there's several scenes where people's hairstyle change drastically. Like you go from one shot to go to the next person, go right back, and the wig is completely fucking different.
it
Are you
has
serious?
It has that Tyler Perry, we didn't give a shit about editing charm.
No, even
Hey.
more so than normal because they made
Oh,
this
yeah.
in 5 fucking days.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
No
Is this-
continuity
was
whatsoever.
Taraji in this also?
No, she wasn't. This was
No.
Lisa Rashad.
The other one.
Cicely Tyson. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, man. See the kid in Halloween. It starred Crystal Hart. It starred Crystal Hart.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is
Just when I thought I was out. Motherfucker.
Oh God.
Wow.
So
But yeah.
this one is it's a kind of a murder mystery, kind of not. It's complete fucking shit. And like I said, this was a Tyler Perry. We were just gonna rush it out because we don't have to make good movies. We have a built-in audience. And Netflix gave me a whole shit ton of money. I'm gonna throw that in 5 fucking days. The 2B of this is also Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace, because apparently in the last couple of months, I really don't know how long it took, he went back and fixed everything that was fucked up the first time in terms of continuity issues. An extra in the background who clearly was drinking and eating air. But what they did, what this motherfucker does is he had enough footage from a different angle to fix all his mistakes. So my question is,
Why wasn't
Did
that
he
done in
rush-
the first place?
did he rush through the fucking thing and throw out bullshit because that's what he just does? Or did he make a bad movie purposely to get people fucking talking about it and then come up with a boring fucking movie after everything's fixed?
He's got more money than I do, so I don't know.
Like when
Yeah, I give
cats
him
took
credit.
out the buttholes? Basically?
I know what you meant. Yes. Yes.
That's amazing.
Wow, I didn't
this-
realize he did that.
He did it. I want to go back and watch it, and I was like, wait a second, that her hair is right. Like the entire scene, her hair is one. And then I go through and I'm like, this motherfucker fucking did George Lucas.
Oh, wow.
for this movie.
He's special edition to A Fall from Grace.
I was stunned. So I give my initial pick was the original version because that fucking sucked, but it was funny and I enjoyed watching it. The new version, awful. All the funny parts taken out. So yeah, that's my number 2.
Damn.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Chris.
God damn it.
My number 2 was Doolittle. We talked about it earlier. Piece of shit movie.
Very good. Very good. All right.
All right.
So what do we think?
Is that it for number 2s?
Yeah.
That's
I
number 2s,
figure,
yep.
what do we want to do for the worst films of 2020? Well, the worst things of 2020, period.
I guess let's
talk
hear,
about them.
Let's hear
Why
Carla's.
not? That was it. No, I'm sorry. I misspoke. That was Carla's. Was A Fall from Grace.
Oh, A Fall from
Yeah, no,
Grace.
her number 2 was. What did I say before that? Shit.
The Impractical Jokers movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but yeah, her number 1, right alongside of everything,
Fall from Grace.
is A Fall from Grace.
Okay.
The Tyler Perry reboot, classic, redo, whatever you want to call it.
So then, Jim, what is your number 1?
My number 1 was my number 1 from last week, or the last time that we did our thing. It is absolutely Bill and Ted 3. It's Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Face the Music.
This is kind of like a double up of my previous choices. You had so much time to come up with something that's going to work, and these are the choices that you made. You have people that are just completely nostalgic for that particular thing.
I was not a Bogus Journey fan. Were you guys? I love the first movie, but I did not love.
No,
Bogus
but
Journey.
now here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say about that. At least they were consistent.
Correct.
In the Bill and Ted movies, you're expecting to get the fully self-assured, completely shameless, absolutely right in everything that they do, no matter what. They are the best fucking band on the world, but they aren't. They're totally sure their plan is gonna work, but it's gonna fucking fall flat. But you're along for the ride because it's ridiculous and funny. This felt like a live-action version of Beavis and Butthead. And their daughters didn't help. Because they just were imitating the dumber versions of what they were, or what they became. You could have had a ridiculously fun romp, if you even want to... I don't even know what to even call this. This was just wrong.
Look.
It was just wrong.
Alex Winter needed work.
Fuck
That's
that!
fair.
Fuck that!
And
You can
here's the
give
thing.
Alex Winter work and do what they did best. It was fun. It was stupid. You didn't have to
But
think
there
of
was
goddamn...
no way that those characters were going to work in a fucking Metamucil commercial.
Yeah.
They're way too old to be fucking playing the half-wits like
Make
that
funny,
are just
though.
lovable enough to fall into these situations where you root for them because they're lovably dumb. And you can't have that with fucking 50-year-old men. You just can't.
They try to escape from their own mansion in the future because they know that their selves will know which way that they go. So they decide to put buckets over their heads and somehow make it out of the house. That way their selves won't even know how they make it out of the house.
Well, it was Dave Grohl's mansion, to be fair. But
Oh, good point, yeah. Which was funny as fuck. But
I spent $20 on the movie. I remembered it.
yeah, I'd pay attention too.
I didn't pay for shit.
No.
Of course you didn't.
It is just
The irony of this is I could pay for these, but I just refuse to.
across the board
refuse to.
across the board on all my worsts, and I do this every year. It's not so much the worst for me; it's the most disappointing.
You know, I generally don't pay
I
for
get
any
that.
movies, but with this, I really wanted to throw Alex Winter a bone because I
hear
love
ya.
the fact that he does the horror movie docs.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I miss Alex Winter.
Did you
Here's my
give?
$20.
Did you give to the Kickstarter for Super Troopers 2?
No.
You did?
No.
I thought you got an EP credit.
He was helping out on the back end.
No. No, definitely not.
This guy keeps talking about it. The guy's a fucking executive producer.
It's true. I got $5 bootlegs in my car. You want some?
It could have beat out Mystery Science Theater for the largest Kickstarter project ever, but Tim Saliani didn't get behind it.
No, Jim, why don't you tell us all what the largest Kickstarter project was?
Chris, shut the fuck up.
Oh, you all know. So yeah, Bill and Ted Face the Music was. I really wish it could have been better. And by better, I just mean fun, ridiculous, not giving a fucking, just giving some nostalgia. Because that's something that it had behind it. And it didn't even use it. It just sucked.
It's also hard to revisit, like, Keanu Reeves in that role after seeing him kill, like, 1,000 guys in John Wick. You know, relatively recently.
Do you consider Keanu Reeves a decent actor?
No. No, I don't.
Yeah.
He's made some really fun movies, classics, quite frankly.
I think he might be the greatest, nicest guy of all time, but no.
He's a tremendous guy. Yeah.
But he just has the same monotone voice across any character that he decides to play. He sucks. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it.
He sucks.
He sucks. I'm doing a podcast with 10 listeners. He sucks.
It's live, though, Jim. It's live.
That's a good point. You make a good point.
Just going out there. Keanu Reeves is going to give him a call. Be like, who's this fucking trapping guy? The one time Keanu gets pissed off in his life, he's going to go after Jim.
Dude, if he shows up to my house and asks for your address, I'm handing him a copy of War and
absolutely.
Here's the largest book I have on my shelf.
Jam it at the Trappin's larynx and just fucking do us all a fucking favor.
Like, please, that was like my favorite part of that movie. The only good part of that movie.
That really was.
Right. John Wick 3, Lady Antebellum. I don't know. So Bill and Ted Face the Music.
All right. So number one. Let's say, Chris, you and a bunch of people win a contest to go to a resort island where you can relive your dreams and make them into a reality.
Sounds like a whole lot of fun, Tim.
And let's say that Hervé Villachez is nowhere in sight, but you still name it Fantasy Island.
If I'm not getting Hervé Villachez, I at least got to get Ricardo Montalban. If I'm not getting either, fuck it, I ain't going.
And if there's no Hervé Villachez and there's a Ricardo Montalban, he better be screaming Khan the entire movie. Blumhouse's Fantasy Island. Blumhouse's Fantasy Island is without a doubt the most soul-sucking, enraging waste of fucking time that I spent this year. And I watched the Cleveland show in a hospital for 3 days. Okay.
Wow. That's saying something.
Blumhouse's Fantasy Island is without a doubt the fucking biggest pile of shit to be thrown at a goddamn camera this year. None of it makes any sense. It goes from like a commando situation to this fantasy. Kev, you watch this thing, right?
My number one movie of the year is Blumhouse's Fantasy Island. This was a movie where I believe I spoiled the ending on a show the night I watched it.
Which was perfectly okay with us, by the way.
This was absolutely fucking awful.
Yeah.
As everything Tim said is correct. This is a PG-13 horror remake of a 1977 TV show.
Like a not horror TV show, by the way.
That today's audiences would probably have no knowledge of outside of Deplane, but even that, I mean, this was just a shit show. Michael Pena.
Yeah.
Sure, I do like him. I think he can be really funny. One of my favorite parts of Ant-Man is him, and I know a lot of people didn't like him that movie for whatever reason. He's wearing a big boy suit that's not tailored whatsoever, filling a role that he had no business portraying. And to find out, it's basically this whole movie is a tattoo origin story. Is the funniest fucking thing I will ever be able to think of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. that thrown for a loop, I think doubled down my anger.
I got super excited, Kev, when you revealed that, because like,
because
and then the movie
Chris,
was
I gotta
just
tell you.
such
But
garbage.
let me say this real fast. The reason why, Tim, the reason why you hate it so much, because they spent the entire fucking movie like laying the building blocks for this big reveal.
Yeah.
And the kid he's talking about there's something on his chest, and he's about to say what his name is, and he always gets cut off. And it happens like what, 3, 4, maybe 5 times. And you finally get to the end where it's like, oh yeah, what's your name, by the way? Tattoo.
Yeah.
It's the fucking biggest fucking.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hated this. I fucking hated this movie.
And again, it's the old fucking, it's the same old goddamn monkey's paw story where be careful what you wish for type of shit. And then you throw in all these other dumb elements. Like honestly, Club Dread was like Citizen Kane compared to this thing. Honestly, I am now a dumber man, and that's impressive. That I watched this fucking movie. I really
award you no points.
Yeah.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
Honestly, this thing was fucking god awful. I can't believe that Blumhouse was like, you know what? Let's give the thumbs up on it. I guarantee you, it was almost like fucking what was the old fucking porn Buttman, where he would just bring the goddamn camera around to parties. I bet you that Blumhouse was like, you know
Seymour
what?
Butts
I don't
Seymour
know.
Butts, that's what it is.
I don't know this at all. What are you talking about?
Sure.
It's got Buttman.
I don't remember what the fucking names were.
No, it was Buttman.
They
I do
always had it
remember
written on their
well,
backs. or
I think Seymour Butts too, because he had the
Yeah.
show on Showtime.
Yes,
That's
correct,
the one
yeah.
I remember. Yeah, and Alicia Class was actually in the deleted scene in Cruel Intentions. That I know too.
This guy's a connoisseur.
I watch a lot of Dave's old porn. But
That's a great show, by the way.
it's an amazing show.
Yeah.
It really was. Blumhouse's Fantasy Island is everything I hate about the PG-13 stylistic 2000s horror genre.
Sure.
Yes.
It's the Bye Bye Man. It's all of those things, and all it seems like,
Poo poo man.
right? The pee-pee-poo Man. And all it seems like is that Blumhouse decided to rent an island because he wanted to go on vacation and have a party. Like it was the fucking Fire Festival, and said, you know, we could probably make $1 off of this. Bring the cameras.
Well, that's the thing with the horror genre. It's so easy to make money, you know, in normal times when the theaters were open. And so Blumhouse is an interesting, and Jason Blum, I think he's revered for some things, he's reviled for others. I think he's a shrewd business person, because what he's doing is he's putting these out, which are making money hand over fist and require no effort or talent whatsoever. And then he's actually funding some pretty solid horror movies, you know, working with people like James Wan. You know, there's been some Blumhouse movies that have actually turned out really well, but they're built on a foundation of crap that have been super profitable.
Right.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. I still maintain that there's some sort of money laundering thing going on there. But you know what? Guy fucking creates a lot of jobs down there in Atlanta.
He definitely gives back to the community.
God
so
bless.
can't knock on
Absolutely.
that.
Yep.
Movies suck though.
Movies are terrible.
The movie set black people back a bit too, but you know, he makes up for it in other ways, I guess.
You said a bit.
Yo, I still enjoy Boo and Boo too. I'll say it.
I love the fact that one of my favorite things was Jim saying, "Now this is my first Tyler Perry movie."
We were like, no, really?
No!
You don't say.
Really?
Oh, that was great. Yep.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, you've not seen Blumhouse Fantasy Island, Chris?
No, I saw it. It's
No.
trash. It's garbage.
Oh, you did see it.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Okay.
Of course.
Fair enough.
It's not on my list just because, like, I think I forgot about it. Like,
It's forgettable.
Yeah,
Although it's
like
not.
Kevin told the story, and then I was like, I gotta watch this, and then you know,
did.
no, I did, but
you
then
did, yeah.
and then like I forgot about it.
It will. It would not scratch my top 10 worst movies of like I don't know the past 10 years, but
Yeah, it's bad.
it's pretty bad.
It's shit.
It's pretty bad. It's not Ghost Story and Raging, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That pie though.
All 10 minutes of it.
I was gonna say it must be good. It took 10 minutes to get rid of. Jesus,
Honestly.
Christ, Chris.
On what planet do they consider Rooney Mara attractive? By the way, because
What about Kate?
not. That's the better looking sister.
Kate
But
is the better. Yeah.
that's not saying low bar.
No, yeah, I agree.
What was that last name? They on a football team, right?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, that's why they're acting. Anyway, keep going. Your number one.
My number one is a utter piece of shit. If you can't enjoy a movie in a hot tub drunk, there's a problem. This movie was garbage. It was a Disney movie. It came out. It was gonna be like a big budget release in the theaters, and they just like dumped it on Disney Plus when COVID happened. And
gonna say Soul?
rightfully so.
Just because you don't like the way they draw the black people.
They drew black people like real people, though. For once, the non-white person on the show made the stupid racist comment.
Stepped right into it.
But this fucking Artemis Fowl.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Uh-huh.
It was the worst piece of trash I've seen Disney put out in a long, long time. For some reason, Colin Farrell is in this, and not that he is known for great movies, but he's okay. He was great in The Gentleman earlier this year, the Guy Ritchie movie. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He was great in Bruges. He was great in the Lobster. He's in a lot of really good stuff, especially lately. Like once he got over I don't remember. I
want to say yes.
But like he's had some once he got over like the pretty boy thing early in his career, he's done a lot of like offbeat, really well done movies.
Yeah.
This is I would struggle to even describe the plot to you guys. That might be because I was drunk for most of the movie. But
That you watch in a hot tub.
yeah, it's something to do.
It's bougie.
It's something to do with like this kid whose dad was like knew fairies or something, and there was like magic.
You hear that stank he put on that word? I don't know.
Yeah, it was just it's
The fucking father-son relationship, and goddamn them.
but then the kid
and the cat's in the cradle, and sorry.
No, just like it's really just bad. There was like all sorts of CG and like gnomes and fairies and like mythical creatures all flying around, and like they're trying to make the kid out to like be like a young James Bond, and you're like, I don't know what's going on.
The acting is abysmal, and Robert Shaw's grandson, he'll never work in Hollywood again.
Is that who that was?
Yes.
Jesus.
Does not run in the family.
It's
No.
like I
Wasn't
remember
good.
Disney promoted this like a year ago.
Yeah.
And made it out like this was going to be some new franchise or like a big thing. But like I watched it with the whole family. We're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what was that?
I love the fact the whole family drunk in a hot tub.
Oh yeah. Connor was drunk too. I gave him some booze. No, I did.
No. That doesn't sound right. I'm kidding.
I'm not a mandated reporter.
But yeah, it was awful, and we were all very confused by the fact that this was a movie that got made.
To quote a great man.
Yeah.
The fucking name Artemis Fowl, like it's just shit. It was utter shit.
Is it a literature adaptation, or is it just?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Is
I
it
believe
really?
So, yeah. Yeah, it
It's
is.
fucking awful.
Yeah.
God, whoever wrote that book should be shot. And then subsequently,
was.
whoever made the movie. It's fucking bad.
Damn you, Iger.
It was the worst thing I've seen all year. Like I walked away from that going, my God, I don't think I've seen anything worse in a while, quite frankly.
I got out, dripped off, and toweled up, and was like, "Fuck this movie."
I threw my terry cloth robe embroidered with his on, tied it around my waist, and said, "You know what?
Come, Connor, this is bullshit.
Fuck this outdoor TV and hot tub. I don't want to deal with this." Fucking shitty movie.
Go draw me a bath.
Yes.
We'll watch
Really
Attack
rinse
on.
off the chemicals.
Too funny. But yeah, and you were right. This would not have done probably even better if it was on a big screen. It would. I mean, maybe you would have caught up on the money. That's about it.
It
Past
might,
that,
it
it's
might have
still
broke even because like kids are dumb and they would have like seen the marketing and parents would have taken them to see. I'm sure I would have taken them to see this if they
it's
wanted.
still shit.
And I would have been even more pissed. But yeah, it was just trash, like not good at all.
Pretty terrible.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that was
Worst thing I
2020.
Oh God, I love purging. I really do. Really
So-
fuck Blumhouse.
Near the top, Fall from Grace, Artemis Fowl, and Fantasy Island, and Bill and Ted Face the Music. Just opportunities that ended up trash. Complete and utter fucking trash.
One quick honorable mention.
Yeah.
I really disliked Borat. I was very disappointed. In it.
Disappointed more
All
than
right, so-
Still
disappointed.
is great.
So that's the
and
thing.
I can't say that it's like the worst thing I saw. I was incredibly disappointed with it.
Well, it's very disappointing, but it's another one of those age is really put on it. And I don't know whether it's my age or his age or a combination of both.
It's
Both.
The world is a different place right now. And while I loved Who is America because it felt fresh and everything,
That OJ episode was phenomenal.
it's fucking incredible.
Oh, God.
It's some of the fucking quinceanera bit will forever go down as one of my favorite things that's happened in the last at least 5 years. But it just felt rushed and not conceptualized. And if it wasn't for her,
Oh, it'd be
I wouldn't have liked it.
we'd all be talking about it in the top 5 if it wasn't for
Yeah,
her.
I wouldn't have liked it as much.
She's actually won several Critics Circles awards.
She
as Best
should.
Supporting
She was great.
Yep.
She was the heart of the movie. She was great. So,
Yeah.
yeah, fucking unreal. Kev, did you have any honorable mentions? I mean, I have a fuck ton, but I'm not gonna even bother.
I stayed away from what I thought would be shitty movies this year. I just didn't have the heart to watch anything. Like the one, I guess more like disappointing, like Chris just said, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It's a play. Just
I
like
will agree
Fences.
with you there. Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. August
yep.
Wilson, great screen. Playwright. It doesn't translate well. There are some great performances. Chadwick's okay. I know.
Yeah.
I think
people are going
Viola
crazy.
Davis is incredible in it.
Yeah,
She's probably the best part of the movie. To be quite honest.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Chadwick's getting all the praise because obviously, yes, he died, and people really want him to win an award. He could give it to him, whatever. It doesn't really matter. to me.
It's a bit of an over the top performance.
Yeah.
By him.
Yeah.
Where Viola Davis just exudes, she scared me like she scared the fucking guy in the, like she's just imposing in that role. But in terms of like a great movie, it's not. You're right. Like I don't know that those translate well. To
They
movies.
don't. I mean, the climax of the movie, which I'm not going to give away.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel. There's no weight to it because you're not getting the same way you would if you were watching on stage.
Right. And
It happens way too quick.
super fast, and you're like, wait, what?
It makes no sense. Like, why would that happen? Nothing's built up to it. And it's like,
Yeah.
damn. All right, cool,
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
And the movie. But yeah, that'd be my disappointing. I don't really have too many.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
I will say that Bruce Willis has to stop making movies,
Surviving the Night.
amongst others.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, Surviving
Fair.
the Night and what the fuck else came out this year? Was it? I want to say. Was he in? There was a GI Joe that he was in.
Well, that was years ago.
Yeah, there
Was it
nothing-
years ago?
nothing
I thought
neat.
there was a new one that was like direct to video.
I
So
hope not.
this year he was
Hard
in
Kill.
Yes, you
Hard
get a couple
Kill.
of Die Hard
Hard Kill
type
was fucking
titles.
terrible.
Yeah, he's in Breach, Hard Kill, and Survive the Night in 2020.
Okay.
Yep. And Hard Kill has it is Jesse
Kill,
Metcalf from Desperate Housewives.
Hard Kill is the worst of the ones that came out. Survive the Night's pretty goddamn bad, but Hard Kill, the guy just all the guy does is, I feel like he just shows up to the set cranky, puts in the bare minimum effort and just grumbles the entire script, and then fucking leaves and waits for the check to clear. Just give it up, dude.
But here's the thing: they still pay him.
Right.
That's
They
on
do.
them.
Bruce Willis.
The poster
on
for
them.
Survive the Night is incredible because it's one of those like two shots of both the main actors, and the best part is he doesn't even get top billing. Chad Michael Murray does.
Bullshit.
No,
Swear to God,
100%
Wow.
Chad
true.
Michael Murray, Bruce Willis.
100%
Yeah.
true.
Wow.
Because all the guy does for fucking an hour and a half every movie now is leer at things.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's all he does. Enough. Enough. We get it. You're not happy doing this anymore. Don't do it. Go home and write a fucking book about your time on Die Hard. Maybe pull out some old pictures that nobody else saw. I'll watch it again.
You know
I'll
in
fucking
5
read the
years we're
book.
getting a Sixth Sense sequel, by the way.
Oh,
It's
Of
gonna,
course he's going back to the...
it's gonna
Of course
happen.
he will.
come on.
They'll throw a ton of money at Shyamalan. He'll be like, all right, I'll figure out a way, and it'll be awful.
Yeah.
Survive the night.
Chad Michael Murray.
Honest to God. It's so terrible. I mean, it's not Fantasy Island bad, but like there's nothing redeeming about this fucking movie.
Well,
Oh,
Fantasy
and-
Island tried,
That's true.
so that makes it worse. When
That's
you
true.
try and
Look at
fucking
him.
fail,
He
it's
just
worse.
grumbles. He just sits on a couch and grumbles. There's no, there's no. It just drives me nuts. It really does. The guy just should hang it up and put a fucking mask on, dummy. Jesus Christ. Stupid.
He was
Yeah,
in
Chappelle.
Walgreens.
Oh, come on.
Stupid motherfuckers.
Hard to smoke in a mask.
Hard to breathe with
Maybe
COVID.
he should have got one of those ones with the zipper.
True. That is true. All right. So that's
Okay.
it. That's 2020 in a nutshell.
Let's cleanse the
Think-
palate. 2020's over.
Thank fucking God.
Next week we're gonna move on. I don't know what new is coming out, but I would like to, and I'll offer this up for whatever we can decide whether we want to do. But I really wanted to go down. I wouldn't even say a list because I don't think all of us need to do it, but we can compile a group together of the best, very special episodes of different TV shows. I would like to
Bicycle
dissect.
shop guy. Different strokes.
That's one of the ones.
That's number one. Let's be real. Yeah.
I mean, listen, but we're not going to rank them. We're not
Granted,
going to rank
right.
them.
Fair enough.
We're just going to pick a bunch of them. So if you're out there and you actually
Caffeine pill,
stayed
Saved
with us
by the
and you're
Bell.
listening, if you can remember a very special episode of whatever your favorite show growing up was, throw it our way, and we may talk about it next week if we decide to do that. I just think it would be funny to go back and look at stuff. You know,
Hell yeah.
I mean, the fucking Eddie gets pulled over episode of Family Matters is still one of my favorite things ever. Of course, you have the,
Carlson get pulled over episode of Fresh
yes, yes, right.
That Theo gets pulled over.
Right. There's always one of them. There's always one of them.
It's every
Stay the fuck out of cars.
Listen, Willis got stopped walking down the
Stay
sidewalk
away
and
from the
then-
LAPD.
There's always one episode. So, I just think it would be funny to revisit. So, maybe.
Oh yeah, ton of laughs.
So, all right. We will see you guys next Friday, I guess.
I'll be here.
All
So
right.
will I. Chris?
Yeah. See you next week.
Let me check my schedule. Yes, I will be here.
All right.
Just I love eloquently closing out the show.
Bye. Have a great time.
Thank you, Govs Radio.
Yes, thank you, Govs Radio.
You're the best.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching Films on Tap. We'll be back live every Friday night from 9 to 10:30 and catch all of our previous shows on demand right here on govsradio.com. You can also tune in next time using the Boxcast app to watch us on your phone, tablet, or TV streaming device as well. Check out our featured band Playing Dead on Facebook and Spotify for more of their music, and be sure to subscribe to Films on Tap with Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for any upcoming events, comedy shows, movie reviews, and additional content. And again, thanks for watching. Cheers.
Where the hell are we? That bus station kicked off market and took us somewhere. The things you run from, soon they will always find you. They're right behind you. What? We like Guardians of the Galaxy now? Oh, that's it! Yeah, bro.